just in case. Yeah. What's up with the new Spider-Man? Not till the end. 1 minute. Once we get the medals for the officer, we'll set it up and put it on the agenda.
Oh. We can do that. I want to make sure everyone gets my
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like that. Do it now for sure.
keep breaking free.
Keep still. Keep one up there in front of where I go, and every time I come in, it's gone. It's steep.
Probably is.
You do take a collection.
Really got it. The other one ran away from me.
Down, kids.
There's all kinds of
Everybody ready? Are we recording?
Pokemon Go.
Well, thank you everybody for attending tonight's meeting. Today is July 9th, and the time is 6 o'clock. Once again, thank you for coming today. Will the town manager please take the roll call?
Commissioner Anaya,
Aye.
Commissioner Donner,
Here.
Commissioner Milligan,
Here.
Commissioner Powers,
Here.
and Commissioner Brennan.
Here. All right, everybody please stand for the invocation, the pledge, and the next salute. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the world we live in. We thank you for the freedom that we experience in our nation. We thank you for the weather that we've had, and we thank you for the wonderful celebration we had that so many thousands of people were able to participate in and enjoy themselves. We pray that you help us, guide us as we continue on and do the business of the town. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico
and is the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All right, next item is the agenda approval. Are there any changes to the agenda? Any objections? All right, hearing none, we'll consider tonight's agenda approved. Matters from the commissioners. Commissioner Powers.
Thank you. Can I get the mic?
There you go.
Maybe a little more volume. I've got a personal announcement I need to make tonight. So this will be my last meeting as a town commissioner. I'll be tendering my resignation. There's some personal matters that have come up that are critical, and not the least of which are medical. I've pushed them off as long as I could to give what I could to the town, and it's now become critical, so I don't really have a choice. If you guys would indulge me for just a minute, I want to talk about some of the things that we've done. The people of Edgewood turned out in droves. 1,500 voted in the election to change to commission manager form of government. Before that, the average turnout was about 450. So the people of Edgewood really came together wanting a change in what they saw for a government that was more responsible, more responsive to their needs. Those priorities we have heard loud and clear are roads, water, recreation events for children, and local services. So much has been done since this commission took office. We were at risk of losing Echo Ridge. It was in default. We had a construction obligation that we were supposed to fill, the grant for which was expiring within 60 days. So we were able to do that. The commission working together has solved so many problems. Poker Draw, the 640-acre open space parcel at the other end of Windmill, was also in default, and we were able to get that reinstated. The animal shelter had a lot of problems. Some of the animals had been there over a year, and which should never happen if you have adequate outreach for adoption. The animals were suffering some neglect, so we acted quickly and urgently to replace some of the staff and to get the volunteers. The volunteers have done an enormous job, and they always do in the town of Edgewood. We can't do it really without them. The sewer plant was in violation of environmental law for the previous 5 years before we took office. And the sewer plant's not a sexy thing to talk about, but it is absolutely pivotal because it's what is required in order for Edgewood to have local services. Before that, then everybody would have to drive to Albuquerque. So that's been restored. It's been, we have actually $2 million we've gotten for an expansion now of the sewer system now that it's operating properly, which should take us through the town's requirements for the next 15 to 20 years. We paved the first gravel road that had been paved since 2016. We bought our own paving equipment to be able to not to be independent and to be self-sufficient so that we can do it on our own time frame. The previous 6 years, there had been one road that was repaved, but no new gravel roads. So now we're on track to do 3 roads every year going forward, which is about an 18-fold increase over the previous administration. We'll be building a trail from the middle school up on West Venus all the way to Horton Road. Trails are very important, and unfortunately many of the town's roads like Dinkle and Church were built with narrow right-of-ways. So there's not enough room for a trail, and you have to acquire it, which is a whole other chore. But in that particular trail, we've gotten permission from the state of New Mexico, State Land Office, to do that. It's so important. If you've been down Dinkle and Church and you've seen these people with bicycles or walking along or even pushing baby strollers, and it's scary because it's dangerous. So this commission has in the past set a goal of building trails along each new paved road, which is a great thing for the town. Venus Park has been expanded now, and we're adding another field, some permanent bathrooms. We couldn't do this without the entire commission and the staff pulling together, and without the volunteers. It's so important to have people pulling toward a common goal. Cleaning up blighted or abandoned buildings had never happened before our planning director came up with the idea. They'd been sitting there for 15 years. Some of them were being used for drug-related purposes. One of them burned down and could have burned down the whole neighborhood. So that program is working great. People are voluntarily cleaning up their properties for the most part, but if somebody has deceased and can't do it or in a nursing home, the town can go in and clean it up. And so it's a very popular program with the neighborhoods who had those blighted buildings in them. Then saving these buildings. The building that we're in tonight, the library and the south building and the campus, which was used as Edgewood's event center, were slated for demolition, and we've stopped that. We marked these as, designated them as historic buildings because when we had the town hall back in 2022, people showed up and were talking about the historic nature and how they'd attended these schools. And this is the oldest standing Edgewood or elementary school in town. So now it's up to, there's a couple of commissioners that are going to be working with the MESD board to try to work out an amenable way to acquire those buildings. This commission earmarked $1 million for renovation should we succeed in those. So we're ready to go if that gets done. You can tell from all of this that this has been a lot of work. It reminds me of a story I heard where a guy went to the doctor and the doctor said, "I've got bad news." And he said, "What is it?" He said, "Well, you got a year to live." And so the guy went home and he thought about it. He called one of his friends and said, "What would you do if you had only a year?" And he said, "I'd buy a boat. I'd go fishing. I love to do that. I love to be on the water." The guy said, "Well, I really am afraid of the water. I appreciate it, but I'm not going to do that." So he called another friend. He said, "What would you do?" He said, "Well, I'd buy a camper. I'd go to all the national parks and all these great places in America." The guy said, "Well, I'm not really a camper, but I appreciate it." So he calls another friend, and the friend says, "Well, what I would do is I would run for town commission, get elected, and serve as a town commissioner." And the guy said, "Well, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun." And he said, "No, but it'll be the longest year of your life." By the way, nobody's told me I have a year to live. That's just a joke. So then, how many people here managed to go to some of the Edgewood 25 celebrations? Weren't they great? Then when this commission took office, there was no Parks and Rec manager. It had not been for, that office had been vacant for 4 or 5 years. Nobody had even tried to fill it. So you can't have great events like that without having the proper staffing. And it's been important. We've listened to the will of the people. We've listened to their priorities, roads, recreational events, all of that. We're even working on the water problem. It's a big problem to have both supply and quality. But we got over $1 million set aside, and we're doing engineering studies to try to figure out how to solve that problem as well. So this commission has been really great at working together and pulling toward the common goal of doing what are the priorities of the people. And I really appreciate all of you working together. It takes that to make something really good happen. So I want to say also that when people are happy with what you're doing in a public arena, that most people don't come to the meetings. They stay home. There's 4,000 voters, 6,000 residents in Edgewood. And it's been a clear indication that we're on the right track because not a lot of people have come to the meetings to express dissent or complaint. But it also works the other way. It would be great, and I would encourage everybody to come to a meeting once in a while, even if it's only once a year. Talk about the things that you approve of that the commission's doing, that you appreciate, and let them know that you have their support. It means a lot to the people that serve. So again, I want to thank all of my colleagues who have now become my friends through all of this, and for working together for what's good for the town of Edgewood. It's been an honor to serve my community and to work with some of the best people I've ever met. It's been gratifying to see all of these changes. This is just a short list, what I was talking about. I wish I didn't have to step down, but it has become critical. My doctor has said I've waited too long, so he's in favor of my resignation. I have every confidence that this commission will continue to do the right things for the town of Edgewood. And with that, I want to thank all of you for the enormous outpouring of support that I have experienced during my tenure. Thank you for your faith in me.
All right, so how does one follow up on that? Well, the one thing I like to say, Jerry, is it's a Navy term. It's fair winds and following seas. That's what we tell people when they're departing and they're going off to retirement. And it's just to mean that, you know, may the rest of your road of your life be an easy one. We're going to miss you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I think we're going to miss Daisy most, but
She's also resigning.
I just want to add on to Edgewood 25. Dare I say, it was the most successful community event this town has ever had. I have never seen so many people turn out, have so much fun, and the one comment that was made is, when are we going to do this again? So Jimmy, Edgewood 30. But seriously, it was a fantastic event. We didn't have any real problems the entire time. People came in, they had fun, good, honest, clean fun. Nobody was getting into trouble. The fireworks display was over the top. Like I said, I'm still getting people, bump into me and just saying how great that was, and they're so happy to see Edgewood come alive. One comment was, this is definitely proof that COVID is over. We are no longer in isolationism. We're an open community. We had people talking with each other, enjoying things with each other, doing what communities do, and that is enjoy their town together. And I appreciate that. And with that, I will pass it off to Commissioner Naya.
Vaya con Dios, which means go with God. You know, that's my saying whenever you're losing a great person that has done great things. And not only in your own personal life, but what you have done for this town. There's only one other individual I know that has ever done so much work like you, Jerry. He's not a member of the town of Edgewood. He would just happen to have been a member of the Board of Education. And people like that, like him and like you, is what makes this job so much fun, is that you always find a positive way to get things done. You always find a way to go beyond what your duties call. And it's because you cared. You cared so much for this community that you were willing to give up a lot. And that includes your health. Not very many people will do that, Jerry. I'm very proud to call you my friend. I will not lose your phone number unless you lose your phone. Buddy, I'm gonna miss you sitting up here.
Thank you.
You know, it is truly an honor to work with you side by side on a lot of the projects that we did. So everything that you did was for a reason. It was for a positive reason that we needed to do for the town and for the people, for all of you. So I don't know if we could clone him. And sometimes I don't think I want to. But again, Jerry, I'm gonna miss you.
Thank you.
Again, I want to just echo the Edgewood 25. I had so much fun, personally, and I haven't done that in a long time, as far as doing something with the town. Jimmy, you did an awesome job with your staff. Staff of one, I think that's all you have, right? All the volunteers that helped you, and there were numerous, all the committees, you guys did a fantastic job. And I mean, I heard this all the way from Albuquerque. The fireworks show that you put on was second to none. It was awesome. 45 minutes of finale. Got burned a couple of times, but that's all right. It was all in fun. So, Jerry, we will continue working together as one body. which you helped us guide. So again, I just want to thank you for everything that you've done. And we will try to fill your shoes, but I'm not sure, what size are they?
Depends on the day, I guess.
So thank you all very much for everything.
Thank you.
Mr. Milligan.
Jerry, I haven't known you a very long time, but it's been an honor and a privilege. I had the opportunity to learn quite a bit about local government from you, so thank you for kind of mentoring me on a lot of things, so thank you for that. Also, the Edgewood 25, not only Jimmy, but all the volunteers, the whole town really pulled together for this event. Even my fellow commissioners, I saw them out there working water slides, out there roasting in the sun to make sure that the kids in the community had a blast. I know my family had an amazing time. Every event that I attended surpassed my expectations. So I want to thank not only just the town, the Parks and Rec people, my fellow commissioners, but the town itself for coming together and making it such a wonderful event. And with that, I will pass off to Commissioner Donner.
Commissioner Donner.
When we first got into office, it was hard times,
Yeah.
but it was also a good time. You know, we've had our ups and downs as a commission, but the one thing that was constant was Jerry was always here. It's a big hole to fill, man. We're gonna miss you. You know, you brought a knowledge base that a lot of us didn't have. So it's gonna be really hard to even try to replicate that in a percentage type of way. So thank you for being a good teacher to myself and some of the other commissioners up here. You know, and helping lead the town into the next era, into the next phase. You were a pivotal part of that.
Thank you, sir.
You're going to be missed.
Thank you, likewise.
So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I unfortunately was out of town for the Edgewood 25, but I have gotten numerous emails and phone calls. Jimmy, the Parks and Rec Advisory, the Edgewood 25, you guys did a phenomenal job. Yeah, I already have people asking when the next sort of big event is going to happen, and I told them that they need to call Jimmy. So, Jimmy, be on the lookout, man. But that's all I had, Commissioner Brennan.
All right, thank you. Can I have the sheet for the public comments?
Mr. Chair, is it okay if former town manager Jarrett Perry wanted to say a few words? Okay if I call him real quick and let him go first?
Sure.
Hopefully he answers because he was on the phone for a while. Hey, Jared, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You're good to go.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Manager McCracken. This is Jared Perry. I just wanted to call in and give a few words for Commissioner Powers. So incredibly grateful during my tenure in Edgewood to have Mr. Powers, Commissioner Powers, side by side with me. We dealt with a lot of very serious systemic issues during my time, and Commissioner Powers was right there with me the entire time. And I can't say enough about all of the things that Commissioner Powers has done for the community of Edgewood. I've always been so impressed with his due vigilance, his work ethic, and I think most importantly, his willingness and his true caring for the town of Edgewood. don't believe I've ever experienced being around a person that cared so much about a community. And I just like to end and say that it was an absolute great honor to work with Commissioner Powers. He has certainly laid the groundwork to take the town of Edgewood to the whole next level. And as we all know, the town of Edgewood has all the ingredients of being something very special in the state of New Mexico. And so I attribute a lot of the successes that we have all the way from tapping into the ARPA funds, building roads, fixing the wastewater treatment plant, very systemic issues. And I just like to attribute a lot of the successes to his willingness and his hard work. I believe that Commissioner Powers will go down in the archives as one of the greatest public servants the town of Edgewood has ever had. And I just want to give him a shout out, and more than anything else, a thank you to him for standing next to his colleagues hour after hour, day after day, week after week, trying to find solutions. So, Commissioner Powers, I give you a cheers, sir. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for the town and me personally. I appreciate you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jared. We made it right at 2 minutes. But he said thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Patty
we'll
O'Brien.
after this.
Name and address.
Patty O'Brien, 445 Highway 344. Commissioner Powers, it has truly been an honor to sit next to you for the last couple of years, watching you work strategically and tirelessly towards the success of the town of Edgewood. You have an impeccable work ethic and great dedication to your goals. Your resume fit this job as commissioner like a glove. We're so lucky to have had your expertise at work to accomplish so much in so little time, sometimes producing miraculous results considering the circumstances. I am here to attest to the enormous amount of work that you put forth and that everything you did was with the highest integrity and for the best outcome for the town. And all the while, you stayed on task through continuous attacks on your character, bullying, and resistance that would have derailed anyone else. You handled all of these distractions with strength and dignity, calmly, logically, and truthfully dispelling all the misinformation that was so freely given as if it were the gospel truth. You have made incredible accomplishments and progress here, and I'm very happy for you that you will have the freedom now to pursue your own projects and dreams in your life. I wish you the greatest health, happiness, and prosperity anyone could ever have. Thank you for your altruistic dedication and service to the town of Edgewood that has made it such a wonderful place to live. Your leadership will be sorely missed.
Rick McMarlin. Yeah, McMarlin. Yeah, that.
It's okay.
Name and address, sir.
Rick McMarlin and 38 Mountain View at Deer Park. Just like to say of what's already been said by Commissioner Naya and many others is that known Jerry now for 9, 10 years. It's hard to believe that how the time goes by, and like to say it has definitely been an honor to call him a friend. It means a lot. And I know because I try to get together and do things and, you know, just not available, working. It just seemed like never ended, and like you say, just kind of basically work yourself into some health issues, and health is always, for all of us, the most important thing. It's all we have on this earth. Without it, we really don't have much else. So that needed to be protected, and it's a shame, though, in the fact that as much as you've accomplished here for the town of Edgewood and its citizens, that I just find it pretty amazing. And I know you're honorable and your ethics and your work, and you just never give up, and very knowledgeable about many, many subjects. And as was pointed out by various people, all the accomplishments that have occurred in this new form of government And I was there when you guys were all getting elected and at the campaign and sitting on horses and et cetera. And it was a lot of fun, and I can see the results, can see what has occurred. And I've attended more meetings and getting more into it, mainly because of Jerry and the rest. And it's been enlightening and definitely a learning thing on my part for me. And big shoes to fill. Sure hope find someone that has the work ethic and ability of Jerry, and just wishing you the best in the future here and good health.
Thanks.
Elaine Evans? Name and address, please, ma'am.
Elaine Evans, 65 Blanco. Jerry Powers has been a devoted commissioner for the town of Edgewood. We thank him very much. One day, I was at the high school. I'm at the high school at Moriarty a lot. And he came over. He wanted to talk to me about some things, you know, connected with Edgewood. And he said, you know, I've never been in the high school before. And I still remember, I said, I've never seen it. And I took him to the teacher's lounge, you know, and I think it was a new experience for him. I love Moriarty High School. I love that they teach the kids so many unique things. I love being in the guitar class, you know, where they're #1 in the state. You know, I love going to Aggie classes, you know, and even the welding classes. The kids are good, you know. So it's a different experience over there. Anyway, he's been our town commissioner for District 2 now since 2022 to 2024. We thank you for all your work. You work tirelessly to save Edgewood's sewage plant day and night. I understand he took phone calls. He worked on saving Edgewood Elementary from total destruction. If you've been to the library lately, it has really changed. It's beautiful. And it's great for the children of this area. He's worked on earmarking money to buy road equipment so Edgewood could develop in the future with better roads. Robert Frost wrote in 1916, he wrote a poem called The Road Not Taken, which coincides with Jerry's life. He is a man who has enjoyed construction and building, but he saw the need to help his town. He stopped his building and decided to help the town to develop and lead them along the best paths. This poem, The Road Not Taken, is about leadership. You never know where life will take you. It is about making bold decisions. Avoid indecision.
Ma'am, the timer went off for you 2 minutes. Can you wrap it up real quick?
Okay.
Sorry.
To reflect on our past to draw wisdom. I won't read the whole thing, but The Road Not Taken, in the end, it says, I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that made all the difference. Thank you, Commissioner Powers. You certainly gave of yourself to the city of Edgewood.
I'd like to yield 2 minutes of my time to.
Oh, no, I'm done. That's fine.
Okay.
I just won't.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, I'm assuming this is Richard Evans? Okay. Name and address, please, sir.
Yeah, Richard Evans, 65 Blanco. Commissioner Powers has given his time and talents to help the city of Edgewood by tirelessly working to save Edgewood Elementary from destruction. The elementary now serves the city of Edgewood offices and other city duties, including the Edgewood Library. Commissioner Powers has also been instrumental in purchasing paving equipment for the city of Edgewood, making it possible to pave considerably more square footage for much less cost than hire an outside contractor. Some local citizens wish to present Commissioner Powers with a token of our appreciation for all his sacrifices, hard work and dedication as Commissioner for the City of Edgewood.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, okay. I just want to say, I didn't do all this by myself. It took all of us to do this, but I thank you very much. I thank you for your kind words.
If I'm reading this right, Richard Baker?
I don't have a lot to say, but, you know, what these guys say I found is true. He's, you know, his tenacity, yes, and he's very, you know, very intelligent man. It's gonna be a big loss for anybody that's not around him. Thank you so much for your work. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
And sir, for the record, you can just go ahead and say your name and address.
Oh, Richard Baker, 34 Mountain View Lane.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay, Bob Sturley. Former Mayor Bob Sturley.
Yes, thank you, Bob Sturley, 19 Southwood Drive. Of course, I was a counselor when the town was first incorporated, one of the first counselors back in 1999. And I'll start with just a couple of stories for fun of being a friend of Jerry's. You may not know he's a pilot, and he's had several planes. He still has 2 planes, I believe, crammed into his his hangar. But anyway, one of the trips we went up to Durango to go skiing. Another trip we flew down to TRC to sail in a sailboat. One memory, we went to the airport, his plane wouldn't start. He had dead battery, so he said, I gotta twist the prop to start the engine. I said, well, I'll do that. He said, oh no. He said, you do it wrong, you're dead. He says, I will spin that prop. One of my favorite memories. Then I've written a few words, mostly history here. Jerry Powers is a friend of mine. He's done many great things for our community. Some years ago, he helped save our community from an attempted hostile takeover of the water system by a group who called themselves a water co-op. He objected to the takeover and presented the case to the PRC. The PRC did their own analysis and agreed that the takeover would have increased the water rate significantly. So the PRC stopped them. Thank you, Jerry, for helping save the town from higher water rates. In recent years, he's been a leader to change the form of government in Edgewood, make it more representative of the community and more responsive to the wishes of the people who live here. It enables people to overrule the commissioners if they need to. You can recall them if they need to. It enables the people, if we had this commission form of government a few years ago, we could have overruled the town's annexation of Campbell Ranch. Is that my 2 minutes?
That's your 2 minutes. Yes, sir, I have a few 2 minutes.
Can I finish?
Go ahead, you can just go ahead and wrap it up.
Thank you. The council's vote to annex was done at the old fire station because a large number of people who wanted to attend. The vast majority objected to the annexation. I was the only councilor who voted against it. The mayor asked for extra security for himself. That annexation has provided no benefit to the owners of Campbell Ranch, and the annexation has provided no benefit to the town of Edgewood. Thank you, Jerry, for leading the town to establish a commission form of government. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Diane Sturley. Name and address, please.
Diane Sterling, 19 Southwood Drive. Well, almost everything's been said, so my little notes would just be a repeat, but I do want to say thank you so much for all the many contributions you've made, Jerry, to this town, this community. I know that your leadership and dedication has inspired all of us. I know it's made me want to get out there and fight harder too. It's really hard sitting where you are. I know personally, being the wife of a commissioner and a mayor, how hard it is. The long nights, sleepless nights, wondering, good grief, will they ever get it together? Before he was commissioner mayor, he was at Sandia working on the Star Wars program. He retired and came to work for the town. And I remember one of the very few times after one of the meetings, he would come home and just shaking his head. He said, you know, when I was out at Sandia, everybody wanted to see their rocket go up. They were a team. But you know, some of these people would like to see it explode on the pad. I thought, yeah, that's government. But I do have some words that remind me of you, and one is integrity. You have such integrity. It's going to be hard to find other people, like some of them that are sitting here, some of you commissioners, that I know have learned a lot from Jerry, because you're still kind of neophytes. Jerry's a stegosaurus, so like some of the rest of us. Generosity, hard work, selflessness. Those are all words that come to mind when I think of you, Jerry. We're going to miss you. I know where you live. I think they should put you on some kind of a payroll here as a consultant, because, you know, we're going to need that wisdom and knowledge as we go forward, the continuity. So I know you're going to have a lot more fun now that you're not on commission.
Thank you, ma'am. Brent Middleton, did I get that right?
Afternoon, Brent Middleton, 15 Mountain View. Just want to quickly say to Jerry, thank you for your dedication, hard work, and to all the commissioners and all the city staff for all of your hard work. Town's definitely been improved because of it. Thank you very much.
Teresa Benton.
All right, don't start that baby early. All right, my name is Teresa Benton. I'm at 16 Blanco Drive, across the street from Jerry Powers. When the good Lord closes one door, he opens another. I know you're tired of hearing me. I'm tired of not being listened to, but I did bring some things today from some other people. In the newspaper, from Santa Fe, the reason that we did not get the equestrian center was that they did not get a response within a timely manner. Also happened on the abortion referendum. In the IPRAs, they're all past deadlines. Under social media, these are all different people asking questions on spending and acquiring Edgewood Elementary. What will happen when the town grows and they need the land? Why can't our government concentrate on things they own, build a town hall on the property they own? From meetings, Representative McQueen had money for paving Church Street. That didn't happen. You guys have a big challenge in front of you. I wish everyone the best of luck.
Thank you. Ray Seegers. Name and address, of course.
Yeah, my name is Raymond Seegers. I'm a local businessman. I want to express my sincere appreciation to Jerry Powers for the tremendous job he performs in the position he's in. It's one of the, I've seen him put in 50, even 70 hours a week at this job. And I'm a friend of his. I have been seen it personally. One of the things that kind of worries me is who's going to fill those shoes. And I think we've got a very capable commission, but you gentlemen know you're going to have to fill them some. We're going to have to, everybody's going to have to go in there and put in their 10 hours a week at least, or whatever they can afford to do the type of things that Jerry did. And like I say, I can't express my appreciation any more than I have. I've heard some great things here, and I agree with almost all of them. But one of the other things I want to point out to the commission, and I'm very proud of this commission, but one of the things I emphasize is please work as a team. Don't ever let a little clique form, don't let anything that destroys the effectiveness of this commission come up. You need to be a team, and when you see somebody forming a little clique, a couple people gathering around being critical of each other, point it out to them. Tell them we're not going that way. We're a team, and we're working for the good of Edgewood. Not for your personal good, ever, but for the good of Edgewood. And if you'll keep that in mind, like Jerry has all along, then I think Edgewood will continue to be one of the greatest little cities in the state, and we'll keep what we've got, and we'll get better all the time. But be a team.
Thank you, sir. Martha Eden. Name and address, please.
I'm Martha Eden. I live at 30 Lucas Road in Torrance County, but it's in the Edgewood area. I've been out here in the mountain area for 45 years almost. A few years before the end of the previous administration's tenure, a group of us citizens got together and sensing there was something rotten in Denmark and feeling like we're going to lose this lovely town into a huge avalanche of debt, misdeeds by people in the government, various things going on fraudulently, things that needed to be done not being done. The future looked bleak. You cannot imagine how bad it looked to us, and our options appeared to be very, very limited. What I didn't realize was that the D in Jerry D. Powers stands for dogged determination. He refused to give up. As bleak as it looked, as bad as it looked, we stayed at it, and we managed to come up with the idea of changing the form of government, which Jerry was pretty much the one who came up with that, seeing it as the only legal way we could proceed, helped inform the town, educate people, got the huge turnout to vote, took 1,100 of those votes of the 1,500 on our side, started the new form of government, figured out how to make it work thanks to the Jerry D. Powers. And I just have to say thank you so very much. It was a pleasure to work with you. You took a horrible situation. Like I say, our future looked bleak. We came so close to losing this wonderful town. We did. And we instead have just taken it to amazing heights. Thank you so much.
Tom Sullivan. Name and address, please.
Tom Sullivan, 800 Kiva, Albuquerque, 87123, and I have some. I'd like to thank you for the positive changes made to the public comment section of your agenda, but I can't. Are you suddenly working on transparency in government? Thank you, Aztec, for at least one good outcome, despite that trip up north being a questionable junket with likely OMA violations. Here's one example of why it's better than the two public comment sections you had quite recently created, one for items on and one for items not on that agenda. What if somebody couldn't attend a meeting for whatever reason when there was a for discussion item that person wanted to speak about? Or the person was at that meeting but couldn't wait 2 hours hearing a report about a new toy the town just bought before being allowed to speak? Why not then? As recently as just last meeting, if the same topic wasn't on that agenda, the person was screwed. Why should somebody have to wait for public comment number 2 to speak about what was so recently discussed, and there were no minutes to review? Now your changes will allow someone to comment earlier on the agenda, even about the town's failures to observe requirements regarding Open Meetings Act or IPRA compliance without being threatened with removal from the meeting. Sound familiar? For 4 months, you have not responded to or provided any of my requested and required information about how in the world the town managed to hire 5 different law firms concurrently. I have already filed a formal complaint about that issue with the AG, so I decided to address the same problem from a different angle. Here's an IPRA for the agenda and meeting minutes at which each of the town's 5 law firms were initially engaged. Hope we have much better luck finding these documents. For the record, pun intended, all such financial records should be readily available for the public to review. By the way, there have been 0 requests for the South Building community events for years. No one has asked to use that building until this all started.
Thank you, sir. Linda Hawley. Oh, excuse me, Tom McGill. Actually, wait a minute, back up some more. Harvey, Kimmery? Okay.
Harvey Kimray, 87 Blanco Drive at the airport. My wife and I would like to express our appreciation to Jerry Powers for all of his hard work and hours that he's put in making this a better community to live in. We are 29-year residents out here and have seen a great improvement over what's been going on, and it's greatly appreciated. My prayers are for you, your doctor, and the medical staff, Jerry, to resolve your medical problem successfully. May God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Tom McGill. Name and address, please.
I'm Tom McGill, 12 Buck Road here in Edgewood. I'd like to focus in on what I consider selflessness at where there's nothing to be gained from it in the form of glamour. The waste plant is probably the most expensive by most measures thing that Edgewood has, and it has one of the greatest values for enabling growth. It also has a huge potential for liability. Prior to the election of this commission, it was on hard times. It had overall poor performance. It was being degraded by the NMED. I've been watching it very carefully all these years, and I want to point out that I'm real happy to say in the last 3 years, the waste plant has really turned around and gone in the right direction. And I think a lot of that credit goes to Commissioner Powers. I've actually watched while he stayed there almost the entire night, helping to drain the waste into the holding pond so they can implement cleaning procedures and that sort of thing. That hands-on it was incredible. But also, I watched his interaction with NMED and with the engineers, and it was a very impressive high-level treatment, and I think that bodes well for the plant. So what I would point out is that if in the future, if we don't hear about a catastrophic failure or businesses moving on because there's no utilities available, a lot of that will be due to Jerry Powers' boundless energy. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Linda Hawley. Name and address, please.
Linda Hawley, 26 Vista Cerritos. I am very disappointed that you did not provide a copy of the ICIP items under consideration for the citizens to review. The state recommends that you have public participation when developing those ICIP priorities. Where's the transparency? Also, I don't understand why you have budgeted $1 million for a building you do not own, MESD's South Building, and expect the school district to give to you. You asked Santa Fe County to give you the equestrian center. The town has just celebrated its 25th birthday. Why isn't the town planning ahead for a town-owned town hall? The building we are meeting in now is being leased from the school district. When the lease is terminated, what do you plan to do? Have you considered selling the old town hall? It has been sitting vacant and deteriorating for the last 6 years. I think it's time for the commission it is time for this commission to take care of their own properties and plan for Edgewood's future. Thank you.
All right, Tom Torres. Name and address, please.
Tom Torres, 38 Cactus Road. Jerry, you're a man on a mission, and you've always been. I've known you from 3 decades past from afar when you first bought property in the Estancia Basin, and you took a group of citizens and you battled for us against Santa Fe County, and you protected our property rights. I'm dearly thankful for that. I own property here, and my future looks better because of that. Of course, we all know what you have done with a group of people to change this town. And it's been a great mission. I've enjoyed being part of that. I'm saddened that you're leaving, but I mostly thank you for your efforts and the missions you've taken us on. So thank you, Jerry.
Ralph Phil.
Ralph Hill, 19 Cajun Lane. I'm the same age as Joe Biden, so I brought my teleprompter. Anyway, having followed Jerry for, over several years, and with the critical town and county issues, I've come to admire his boldness, his tenacity, and his dedication to our rights, our citizens' rights. I first became involved with him when Santa Fe County wanted to go with Agenda 21 and the Sustainable United Nations plan that would have negatively impacted property rights. Thank goodness he led us, and we slowed down Santa Fe County from adopting the UN Agenda 21. I again became involved when saw the town moving in the wrong direction, and he saw the need to overhaul the city government, and I jumped into the chance to join him on the commission. Fortunately, Ken Brennan had great values running against me, so I saw all the headaches coming and let him take over. To this day, the town is still being attacked with IPRA, out of control requests, and really needs a full-time employee just to handle them. The hours of Jerry Philandro, Audrey, Sterling, and Ken have put in rebuilding this town have been astronomical. As a result, the town is being run like a business, mainly based on Jerry's business background and Philandro and others that have experience. Jerry's definitely been in office not for the power or money. He has turned down the opportunity to be mayor and worked as a servant. His time working on problems such as the sewer, fighting demolition of the elementary school, involved thousands of man hours and saved us thousands of dollars. To say a job of commissioner is stressful is an understatement, and unfortunately these pressures have probably contributed to Jerry's health. My admiration for Jerry and his love for Edgewood and the South County, Santa Fe County is unrivaled. He always has the courage to do what's right, even though not always popular. We will miss him tremendously. It'd be a great loss to have him leave. The only thing I hope is that these toxic people that want to tear down the town could just turn their efforts around and try to help build it up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Susan Hill. Okay. Brian McMurtry?
Sorry, I got terrible handwriting.
Name and address, please.
Brian McMurtry, 106 South County Line Road. Hey, I kind of feel gypped tonight. I just got to start working with Jerry like 6 months ago, and actually he incredibly impressed me. I chair the Parks and Recs committee, the volunteer committee here in Edgewood, and he really helped me as I took on that position and worked with the committee. And he's really helped us kind of define kind of our goals and how we interact. And I just really appreciate the little bit of time I got to interact with you, Jerry. And I'm just glad that I did. I've also got to give a shout out to the whole city. Man, I just so impressed with the 25-year anniversary. That was just awesome. My family loved it, and so many people I've talked to have loved it. You guys did awesome. Everyone that participated, all the volunteers and all those that helped. And Jimmy, I hope you got a little bit of sleep the last couple days. But I just really appreciate it really made me proud to be part of this community. And really the only reason I put my name on the list is I wanted to we're meeting Parks and Rec. We meet the second Wednesday of every month. We meet in a room back there from 6 to 8 p.m. and just wanted to let people know about it, both from the public and we would love to have commissioner representation at the meeting. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We're trying to find out the best way for us as an advisory committee to really interact better with the commissioners, and so we're working on that. But really appreciate being able to work with you guys and the good that you do for our city, and we also love the community and really are glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, sir. Linda Wheeler.
Linda Wheeler, proud to be 61 High Meadow Loop. And guess what? Tornadoes, wind, snakes. There are two-legged ones. There's wiggly ones. Jerry, you are not, I've never heard an obituary for a live person before. Okay, I know we all love you, and Daisy's gonna be so happy. But I'm just saying, as Yoda would say, may the force be with you. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, Linda.
And you other guys aren't too bad either.
Thank you. All right, that's it for those who signed up. Is there anybody else here that would like to make public comment? Come on up, sir. Name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is Adrian Chavez, 6 Joshua Court, Edgewood, New Mexico. One of the things I would like to express, as everybody has said to Jerry, is thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Not only for me as an individual, but as a leader in the community. Everybody, it just shocks me to hear everybody come up here and say such awesome, nice things about you. One, because of the truth. That's the crazy part. In this life, it's all about the truth. I come to these meetings, I see these people come up with negative attitudes. These people, some of these people have been in positions where they could have changed a lot of this. It didn't happen. Facts matter. Our community matters. Edgewood 25th, man, I tell you what, my grandkids loved it. We all loved it. And it was amazing to come out here and watch the community come together. Mm-hmm. This negative crap, this needs to go. It's enough is enough. Commissioners, me and you, we're passionate, and I love each and every one of you. It takes, man, for you guys to do what you guys do for us is a thankless job at times. You read these little posts on Nextdoor or whatever app is out there. These people aren't nothing in the sense that all they do is complain. If they really cared, they'd be here doing something for our community. Our community needs leaders like you guys. Thank each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Mr. Powers, for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the room?
Mr. Chair, I have 3 individuals that sent me an email to read into record.
Okay.
The first is Debbie Stover. It says, I would like to thank Commissioner Jerry Powers for his hard work and dedication to the town of Edgewood. He has worked tirelessly on behalf of the town, and Edgewood has been lucky to have a citizen willing to work as hard as he on so many varied and important projects. It has been impressive to watch him accomplish so many things during his tenure. I wish him well in his new endeavors. The next one is Kevin McCown. It says, I am sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I would like to say the town of Edgewood is losing a commissioner that has been fair and methodical in every decision made. I think the other commissioners would agree Commissioner Powers is a pillar in the community. Commissioner Powers has shown what it takes to be calm, adult, and respectful. Mr. Powers keeps it together and respectfully directs meetings in the direction that they should be. Commissioner Powers, the town of Edgewood will miss you. My best wishes to you in the direction you take in the future. You have shown that your work is in the best interest of the community and not oneself. Jerry, I guess now your friends can buy you breakfast. And the last one is from Susan Simons. We just found out that that's what she said. We just learned the unfortunate news that Jerry Powers will be resigning his position on the Town of Edgewood Commission. We would like to extend our deepest thanks and appreciation for all of his time, energy, dedication, and sacrifices he has made for the town and its citizens. Unlike some of his predecessors who served in our town, he has always put true to the town and to himself. He has always been true to the town and to himself. He worked tirelessly as part of the dedicated team to put Edgewood back on an ethical and honest path opposed to corruption, greed, and dishonesty. He went far beyond expectations in his effort to rescue the sewage treatment plant and to establish an organized, logical plan for the development of the roads and infrastructure. He has supported and encouraged volunteerism and volunteer groups who can and do provide a powerful cooperative liaison with the town. His vision for the town has helped it grow and thrive. We hope that when he is ready, he will return in some capacity to be part of the town of Edgewood's future, and wish him the best of luck and good success in his future endeavors.
Thank you. Is there anybody online?
No. It's on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. All right, so that's the end of public comment. We'll go to the consent agenda. All right, is there any questions on this consent agenda? All right, if there's no objections, we'll consider the consent agenda approved. Hearing none, it is approved. All right, next is matters from the chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, respected members of the governing body. We had a meeting last week with Superintendent Bibiano to discuss the school resource officer, and I'm pleased to announce that we agreed to implement the school resource officer. They are going to pay half of our officer's salary, which is going to be $42,000. And Officer Easterling is currently at the training for a school resource officer. So she's going to take over the roles of Route 66 Elementary, South Mountain Elementary, and of course, Edgewood Middle School. She is also currently going to be cross-commissioned by both counties, Bernalillo County and Santa Fe County. And so we're going to be on the scene and out there with the kids, protecting them, and be foot soldiers, if you will, on patrol with the kids. So I just wanted to let you all know that. Secondly, I wanted to thank Commissioner Powers. As you all know, and some of the staff know, I came from an environment that was a toxic environment in my first time as a police chief and an administrator, where I dealt with corruption at every level. And 4 years of that, they say they cut my teeth, right, in that role. But when I left there for my own reasons and because of the corruption that was ongoing, I never thought I would get an opportunity to work as an administrator in another municipality. And when I came here, Commissioner Powers was one of the commissioners on the panel. Asked me a lot of great questions, and I appreciated the fact that he never beat around the bush. His questions were straight to the point and questioned my integrity, which I appreciated, because I like to think I passed the test. But with that being said, anytime that we had an issue and there was a concern, he would always ask my opinion. He would always ask my professional opinion. And we'd always talk about it and discuss it. He was very quick to listen, slow to speak, and I appreciate that. One of the things that I can say in my experience is very hard to be a public servant. It's a thankless job, and nobody appreciates it until they need you. And so, thank you for your service, your sacrifice. It's going to be hard to find somebody with that amount of integrity, intelligence, and passion for the people of town of Edgewood. You know, through all of these fights and battles causes a lot of stress and trauma. People don't realize it. Even more trauma than some of those people that have been in combat or officer-involved shootings. I know from personal experience. That's something that you can't just tuck away. It continues to eat at you because of the attacks you take. So, you know, just keep your chin up, and I've never seen anybody deal with it with the kind of patience that you have and integrity. So thank you for doing that. The other thing is I want to tell you is I don't have many friends. Because of my time in public service, you know, you get to a point where you kind of keep everybody at arm's length and arm's reach. I can honestly say I trust all of you gentlemen that have been up there. You've always done what's right for the community. I don't have a circle of friends, I have a triangle. And I thank you all, especially you, Commissioner Powers, for towing the line and fighting the good fight with me. So, take care, sir. Appreciate you.
Any questions for the chief? Okay, thank you, chief. All right, matters from the town manager.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, my other appointed officials, community members, and staff. Commissioner Powers, I'm going to save you for last. I have some other items. I do want to start with recognizing Jacob Chandler, who is one of our road crew members who just completed his CDL. He, I just went for a blank, but he took his test so that he can do standards and automatics. His supervisor made sure that he had all the tools necessary that he could succeed. Josh Jantz came to me and told me that Jacob is the youngest student that academy has ever had, and that he outmaneuvered all the other students, that he did better than everybody else. And I wanted to recognize his coworkers as well, because they did set up a little track for him over at Venus Park, and I have no doubt that Jacob would be successful no matter what, but they ensured that he was more than successful. They helped him study for the test, and they helped him to make sure that he was prepared to run every single equipment that's over there. And if Jacob could come up, I have a certificate for him that the mayor and I signed for him.
Is he old enough to really what?
He's old enough. He is young. Done an amazing job. Very good.
Come on, Dave, you gotta get enough.
Well, you got it. I got a thank you from the public. Actually, someone stopped to talk to him one day and was amazed at how he created these things for us. Get you guys all together. I do want to thank the road crew for coming tonight. I did ask that they could be here because, like I said, they are a very close group that has worked hard. And as we know, they've worked on Appaloosa, they've done Paradise, they're getting ready to do East Venus and Nugent. And they're a small crew, but they work very hard and do an amazing job. And I know that I did see Josh and Arturo probably every single day last week during Edgewood 25. They looked exhausted on Saturday. The next, I want to recognize, for everyone who is on the committee for the Edgewood 25, if you could stand up. I know you guys are out there.
Come on, Jimmy, stand up. I gotta stand up, you gotta stand up.
I know that some individuals couldn't come. I wanted to make sure that they got the recognition that they needed. What a lot of people don't know is they started planning this event last year. They met, I want to say once a month, and come, and at any point in time, I could ask for the schedule to know exactly what was coming. They kept me in the loop on everything that was going on, and if there's anything I had questions about or I knew wasn't something we could do, I took the time to reach out to make sure that we could get the approval from DFA on certain items, reaching out and making sure that we were within the law on many things. I had actually reached out to the head counsel of DFA to ensure that we could do the sponsorship program, and I know KR was going to try to make it, but he couldn't. He did an amazing job chairing that board, and I know that group did an amazing job. I'm still very tired from going to everything, but I had a blast. I also wanted to recognize the speakers. We had Rita Lois Simmons, Roger Holden, and Tony Jaramillo Jr. that took their time during the week last week to give their history of Edgewood. I had popped in briefly, and I had a good laugh when Tony Jaramillo said that they used to, when they were trying to time their cars, would race up and down the road, and they would get hollered at by the local community members, and all I can think about is that still happens to the youth today. I love it. And then with Edgewood 25, Commissioner Bustamante from Santa Fe County had sent a proclamation and had been tied up at the governor's office, so she was unable to come to present this, but I am going to read it into the record just so everyone knows what it is. It's the Santa Fe County proclamation proclaiming June 28th to July 6th, 2024 as the Town of Edgewood 25-year celebration week. It was introduced by Commissioner Camila Bustamante. Whereas the Town of Edgewood, located in the southwest portion of Santa Fe County, New Mexico, was incorporated on July 1st, 1999, with a population of roughly 600 people. And whereas the Town of Edgewood's boundaries are spanned across Santa Fe, Bernalillo, and Sandoval counties. And whereas in the ensuing 25 years, the community expanded through a series of annexations and slow growth to a current population of about 6,000 residents within town limits. And whereas homesteaders moving into the American West created the initial settlements that grew into what is now the Town of Edgewood, and whereas pioneer families obtained land claims and began farming and ranching in the Edgewood area during the early 20th century, and whereas the pioneer spirit of neighborhood friendship and cohesion that strengthened the residents of the past and continues to this day in Edgewood will continue into the future. Whereas the community now known as Edgewood was originally called Venus until residents were asked to come up with a new name, leading the community to choose Edgewood for its description of the town's location at the edge of the woods. And whereas to commemorate its 25 years of independence, the Town of Edgewood will be celebrating for 7 days. And whereas the celebration will include stargazing, rodeo, parade, fireworks, vendors, crafts, car show, historical reenactments, oral histories, art exhibit, live music, food, town contests, and more. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Board of County Commissioners of Santa Fe County, do hereby proclaim June 28th through July 6th, 2024, as the Town of Edgewood's 25-year celebration week. And it is signed by all of the commissioners, the county clerk, the county manager, and the county attorney. I do want to say we had 25 events to celebrate the 25-year celebration. When I say it took me a while to recover, I know some of the commissioners know the Pink Flamingos kept me busy. I got some dancing in.
We have proof.
I saw there was videos. I did have a very good time. If anyone ever gets a chance to see the Pink Flamingos, I highly recommend it. I do have all my town manager matters as well. There are a few things that aren't on here that I do want to bring to light. Old Town Hall is being used. The state fire marshal's over there right now because the YES program is utilizing the Parks and Rec room, so we have them over there. So the building is occupied. The chief and I had discussed this after First Choice was broken into and destroyed, that we wanted to ensure our building was secure and safe with people in there until we move forward with any other plans with it. I believe the detectives may be going over there as well, just to make sure that that building has presence. And something else, we do have a few people starting. Michelle Jones will be here on Monday, who will be the new clerk treasurer. Victoria Archuleta is our new finance specialist that started today, so Christine Romero can move over to the animal shelter to be the manager that she was hired for. Rebecca Anaya is retiring at the end of the month, and so I would like to do something big for her. She has been instrumental in making sure that we all stay afloat here, and I like to call her my battle buddy. Woodstock is underway, and from my understanding, after talking to the Friends of Estancia Valley, it is going to be an amazing event, so that could be our next big one. And then on July 27th, here in the chambers from 10 to noon, the comp plan is doing the land use for a public meeting to get the feedback. And then tomorrow, there's a steering committee for anyone who can come. We also got a request to see if we could have a parking lot over on Municipal Way where those trails are past the roads department. If there is no objection to us just creating somewhere that people could park to use those trails, I think that's something we could do very easily. And then Commissioner Powers, we've worked quite closely together the last 2 years. I promised myself I wouldn't cry, dang it. We have spent a lot of time getting to know each other, and I have learned so much from you. I can go build a road. I know how to, understanding the crowning and everything that goes into laying it down, to the fog ceiling and the crusher fines that go to it. I know so much about wastewater because you took the time to teach me. I understand membrane trains and all of the chemicals that go in there and the processes that go through with the wastewater. I'm so sorry. Ugh. I'm supposed to be a big, tough lady, but I'm not. I got a little sensitive. Oh, thank you. You're going to be greatly missed. I've known about this for weeks, and I had called one of the commissioners telling him I was probably going to really miss you. And I do have something for you. I had asked to make sure that we got you a certificate to recognize you for all of our gratitude for your service to the community as a commissioner with the years and everything. But you will be greatly missed. I'm sure I'll still hear from you here and there because it's been an interesting road. That's all I can say. This has been the most interesting 2 years of my life. I think that's to put it nicely. It's been a ride, but you'll be greatly missed, so I have this for you. No one in the room can let it out that I'm a little bit sensitive. But I stand for any questions.
Any questions for the town manager? Thank you. You did fine.
Oh.
All right, that brings us up to our closed session. Entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Make your last motion.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Powers.
I move that we go into closed session as per motion and roll call pursuant to NMSA 1978, Section 1015-1, H7, meeting subject to attorney-client privilege pertaining to threatened or pending litigation which the public body is or may become a participant, specifically Miguel et al. Versus John Bassett et al., number D101 CV 2020-00328, Berg et al. Versus the Town of Edgewood, number D101 CV 2024-01191, case D101 CV 2024-01316, and Town of Edgewood versus Moriarty School District D101 CV 2022-01955 and 2024-01229. And then unlimited personnel matters pursuant to Section 1015-1H2, the discussion of hiring, promotion, demotion, dismissal, assignment or resignation, investigation of consideration of complaints or charges against any individual public employee, specifically Sergeant Kyle Elliott, Community Liaison Linda Burke, and Chief Jimenez.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned by Commissioner Powers, seconded by Commissioner Donner. Any discussion before we vote? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Naya,
Aye.
Commissioner Donner,
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
and Commissioner Brennan.
All right, and it is 7:22. We are in closed session.
There was a
We're up and
copy,
running?
Yeah. And I have some notes from earlier. Because discussed a few, adding Dinkle and Plaza Loop, and maybe one other road. And then adding the Bassett Community Center to the community.
Whenever
center
you guys are ready.
Town Hall. Never ready.
All right, we need a motion to come back in open session.
A motion, we come back in open session, Mr. Chair.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned by Commissioner Milligan to come to open session, seconded by Commissioner Donner. Anybody have anything else to say? If not, let's go to the roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anaya?
Aye.
Commissioner Donner?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Aye.
Commissioner Powers?
Aye.
I'm already forgetting. Commissioner Brennan?
Aye. And I attach all the items on the closed session we're discussing. No decisions were made.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
All right, and the time is 8:03. We're back in open session. All right, actions on above closed session items.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Powers.
I move that we extend the contract of Chief Jimenez to October 2025 on the terms discussed in closed session.
Second.
All right, the motion is to extend the chief's contract to 2025. It has been seconded by Commissioner Milligan. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Chief, you're stuck with us to October of 25.
You're stuck with me, sir.
All right, anything else?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Donner.
I make a motion that we update Community Liaison Linda Burke's contract to full-time and to have that updated. With the pay as discussed.
Say it again. What you
To
said?
update Community Liaison Linda Burke's contract to full-time with the updated pay.
All right, and it was seconded by Commissioner Powers. Any discussion? All I've got to say is that Linda put a hell of a lot of hours in, especially for the Edgewood 25, acting as a substitute clerk, keeping the ball at least afloat.
I think it was probably more than just a float. This position was originally supposed to be part-time, and she has definitely worked a lot more than that, and the proof is in the pudding. She's done a great job. So thank you.
All right, anything else? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Let the record show unanimous vote. All right, any other actions? All right, hearing none, let's move on to the next item, approval of budget resolution.
Mr. Chair.
We have to approve the resignation. Copper said we have to approve the resignation.
Oh.
That's correct. So let's, you wanna go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I make a
Commissioner Milligan.
motion that we accept the resignation of Sergeant Kyle Elliott effective immediately.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned to accept the resignation of Officer Sergeant Kyle Elliott immediately, been seconded by Commissioner Donner. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the resignation is accepted. Okay, anything else? All right, approval of the budget resolution, number 2024-014.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Donner.
I make a motion that we approve the resolution adopting the Town of Edgewood final budget for fiscal year 2024 through 2025 with resolution number 2024-034. Is that the correct number there? Because it's 2023 on the page here.
Is it 014 or 034?
I think it's it's not the correct resolution number, correct? Me if I'm wrong.
Let me
It should
look.
be 2024-1014.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
014.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. With resolution number 2024-014.
Second.
Who seconded it?
Me.
Okay. So it's a motion to approve by Commissioner Donner, seconded by Commissioner Powers. Any discussion?
This is just a formality that we forgot to do.
Yeah, I know.
So that's just making that very clear.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let the record show, unanimous vote. All right, item C, approval of the ICIP 2026 to 2029. Manager McCracken.
Mr. Chair, we went over many of the items on this during the workshop. If everyone is okay with those changes, I know that there's a few things we had discussed. I have to find my paper. That we wanted to add Dinkle Road and Plaza Loop. What was the other road that wants to be added to the ICIP? I know that the other item that was discussed was adding the Bassett Community Center and the Old Town Hall to the community center improvements that have already been listed for the building next door. If there's anything else, we can do that, and then I just have to submit this to the state on the 12th.
There was 3 roads, right? Or was there 4?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, the list, the road, this is what I wrote down for the roads as they were discussed. Dinkle Road, Broken Arrow, Cactus, Cowboy Way, and Plaza Loop.
Oh, it's Plaza Loop.
Plaza Loop and Dinkle I felt were
Yes.
1 and 2.
And then we need to decide on the third. I think Cactus needs
Probably.
a third.
I would agree.
Yeah. So, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'll move that we approve the ICIP for 2026 through 2029 with the changes that were iterated or discussed in the, well, let's see, I'm just going to say that were mentioned by the manager with regard to Town Hall, Old Town Hall, and adding that on to the existing improvements. And what was the other one, Nina? Old Town Hall and the Bassett Center?
Bassett
Yeah.
Community Center.
And also to add Dinkle Road, Plaza Loop, and Cactus Road on the capital outlay for paving overlay.
Second. Can I make an amending motion?
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to amend that with the dollar amounts
Okay.
for each one. For the roads, if it's 150,000 a mile, we're doing 3. Let's go 500,000.
Okay.
And then with the improvements of those, Town Hall and the old Bassett Community Center, I'd say 500 as well.
Okay. So I'll second the amending motion.
Okay, so the amending motion is for the roads that we just mentioned of a 500,000, and for the Old Town Hall and the Bassett Community Center, 500,000, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so on the amending motion, it's been motion and second, any discussion on it? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, back to the original motion for approving the capital ICIP plan for 2026 to 2030. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, capital improvement plan is approved unanimously. All right, next is discussion approval of the organizational chart. Manager McCracken.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, we discussed this in the workshop as well. There are 2 organizational charts that were presented. I have to see what numbers they are again. Org chart 3-F, the one that has the new and changed highlights on it, is the one I prefer, but I am happy to implement whichever one the commission feels meets their vision the best for the town. I just know that we need something that will run us more efficiently and effectively and give the staff the dedicated time that they need. We are growing so quickly and we have so much going on. I think having the 6 directors, and then people below them will help give better guidance and communication to the staff. And I know, like, my Wednesdays with as many managers as we have, I meet with them once a week, that it does take up quite a bit of time, which I don't mind. I do love everyone that I work with, but I do feel like this will streamline many of the processes and keep a closer eye on everything that is going on. I know with the previous treasurer, he didn't want to oversee the finance department, but I think it is vital that the clerk treasurer is overseeing the finance manager / deputy treasurer and over the finance staff to make sure that all of those processes are following the law and that it is more of a streamlined process. Although the town manager is the one that oversees the hiring, firing, and all of that, it would be better just to have those direct communications with the different staff. I know we do have on here that there will be a public service chief. That would be like the chief of police, or as we grow, a lot of times it becomes a public safety director who can oversee the police and animal control. And as we grow, I'm sure at some point we will acquire a fire department, and this will give that pathway to implement that later down the road.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Donner.
I make a motion that we approve organizational chart 3F.
Is that the one that's 7/5/2024 draft? With the new changes on it?
That's the one with the new
Page 3 of 3.
Okay.
and changed.
Then I'll second that.
All right, any discussion on this?
Mr. Chair.
One correction on here that I noticed, so the planning and zoning hearing officer, under the ordinance is called hearing examiner, so just to be correct, I would change that to PZ hearing examiner.
Where is that?
Do you want to make amending a motion to change that to examiner?
Where?
It's at the very top.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Top
Sorry,
left box.
Mr. Chair.
I'll move for an amending motion. But
Oh, I
please
was going
go
to say
ahead.
that may just be an administrative issue that I don't know if it necessarily needs a motion, but that's up to the commission.
I'll just take a second.
Yeah, just take a second.
I'll just make an amending motion to change P and Z hearing officer to hearing examiner, P and Z hearing examiner.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded to change the word officer to examiner, hearing examiner. Any discussion on that?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Donner.
This will just kind of play into the policies that we've already presented in the previous meeting with day-to-day oversight going to the town manager of even the appointed officials. So I like it. It's good. This can be a living document. We can update it as we go. I like that you built in for the future here as well. So good job, both of you.
Anybody else? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let the record show, unanimous vote. We now have our org chart.
Main motion.
Hmm?
We need the main motion.
The main motion.
That was the amending motion.
Oh, that was the amending motion, wasn't it? Okay. To the main motion. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, main motion is approved. All right. All right, that now brings us down to future meetings. The next meeting is regular commission meeting, July 23rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the town of Edgewood Commission Chambers. And commissioner closing comments. Anybody wish to make any closing comments?
This is my last opportunity. I want to thank you guys. It's been a real pleasure and an honor working with all of you and the staff. Everybody. I mean, I've just been impressed with how hard everybody has worked. And part of that is we didn't have enough staff, but you all did it anyway. So thank you very much.
I wanted to say thank you. I learned a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope you stick around for questions. We're definitely going to need it. Anybody else?
No, just thank you once again, Jerry.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
Ditto.
And best of luck to you on your future endeavors, and Godspeed to you.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Nye, you want to say anything?
You know, it was mentioned earlier that the obituary. You know that, Jerry, that's kind of the way I feel right now. I feel like I'm losing a part of the organization, a big part of the organization. And you're gonna be deeply missed, but I do have your phone number. I have your address. I know what your plane looks like. So I will be keeping in touch with you.
I hope so. Hope you all will.
And I wish you the best and Godspeed, and by all means, do what's in your heart.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Take care of Daisy. I guess we need a new mascot, so I don't know what it could be.
I have a puppy.
I'm not bringing my Cindy Lou in here.
Anyhow, thank you very much, Jerry. It's an honor.
All right, and once again, to the Parks and Rec town staff, I mean, everybody just went above and beyond. And it was just a wonderful thing to see. And you know, we are going to see more of it.
Mr.
And with
Chair.
Manager McCracken.
Did Commissioner Donner want to say anything?
What? Turn my mic up.
Oh.
Means I'm done.
All right, so the only thing left to do is adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned to adjourn in a second. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. All right, it is 8:19. We are adjourned.